Okay. Hey there, everyone. Dr. Beth Westy here, and I wanted to go through my little list of some of my favorite things to decrease stress right now, like right now. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with me, hi. I live in Minnesota, so there's a lot of stress right now. We had a curfew last night, but there's a curfew again for tonight. Um, I think they're gonna do a curfew tomorrow. I think they moved the wild game up because of a curfew. Like the wild game was canceled. The wild hockey game. Hockey, yeah. It's Minnesota. Hockey's a big deal here. Um, so, because there's a lot of, I don't even know the phrasing for it, things happening, right? So there's a lot of stress right now for people. And again, my mission here is just to educate women more on their health, hormones, physiology, and things that you can do to really improve your system, right? Learn new tactics, learn how your system works, and really be your own health advocate moving forward to make the best decisions for you and your health and your goals. So a lot of people right now are under a lot of stress. There's just a lot of stuff happening in the world. And again, there's been a lot of stuff happening for a long time, and it's a lot for our systems. It's a lot for our systems. So when you get overwhelmed, when you get on this verge of like, holy crap, I don't even know what to think right now. I don't even know what to do. I don't know any next steps. Some really important things that you can do just to help your system take it down so you can get back to what you're doing. One of the biggest struggles when you are under a lot of stress is that your brain actually can't come up with solutions, doesn't have creative thinking capacity, can't think of next steps. It decreases your memory. I talked about this a little bit yesterday in my video on toxic stress. Um, it's a tough place to try and move from, right? It's a really tough place to try and move from. So if you're trying to take a next step, make sure that you're doing something to help bring down that stress response in your system before taking action in any place. That way, any decisions you make, any any thought process that you need to count on is going to be a more accurate thought process for you, right? It's going to move you forward. It's going to get you going in a better direction. Yes, and it was snowing last time I looked outside. It always does this every year, and every year I complain about it. Every year I complain about it. I do. Yeah. My kids' birthdays are coming up. It's birthday season. All three of my kids are born within 2.5 weeks of each other, all 2 years apart. Do they call that Irish twins or something, or Catholic twins? Whatever. Anyway, um, it's just how it worked out for us. Didn't plan it, but it's how it worked out. Um, and I remember being in the hospital for the first two. Um, it was snowing when I was having my babies. Yeah. So I know this happens every year, and every year I complain about the dang snow. So here's the dang snow again. It was so nice like 2 weeks ago. Was that a week ago? 2 weeks ago, something? It was like 65 degrees. It was glorious. It was absolutely glorious. And now it's like 30 degrees. It's not even a lot of snow. It's just enough for me to complain about. Anyway, back to stress, back to things to decrease your stress. My whole point of talking about the snow right now too is that with everything that's happening, especially I live in Minneapolis, right? So a lot of things that are happening right now in my city, right, and where I am are very stressful, right? There's a lot of things going on, and just that one little extra thing of like, hey, there's even snow now too. Come on, one more thing. Ugh. So here's some things to help reduce your stress load. And that, again, calm the brain, help make good decisions for you, your family, your health moving forward. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, decreasing stress right now. Take 3 deep breaths. Now, when you're taking deep breaths, make sure that you're breathing into your belly. You don't want your chest to move. You want to keep your chest, right? And you want to keep your shoulders down so that breath, your tummy should come out and in. And it's kind of a thing to practice. Like watch yourself in the mirror. Put one hand on your chest, one hand on your tummy, and your tummy should go out and in when you're doing breathing. Breathe in really slow and out really slow. Breathe in for a 5 count, out for a 7 count. That's a great way to do deep breaths. And doing at least 3 of them in a row is going to help set off a physiological response, like a chemical cascade reaction that actually helps, take your stress down a notch, right? Another thing to do is make sure you're drinking minerals and water. So it's one thing to drink a lot of water, but it's another thing to also get minerals in that water to make sure you're staying really, really hydrated. If your stress levels are spiking, you're more likely to be nutrient depleted, be dehydrated, things like that. So getting minerals in is really, really helpful. Getting an Epsom salt bath. You can even put essential oils like lavender, things like that in the bath to help your nervous system calm down, right? That helps you get a hold of the stress that you're under, puts you back in the driver's seat a little bit. So this Epsom salt bath, it's very relaxing for the muscle tissue, very soothing. So that's really important. CBD. CBD you can take like as a liquid, as a dropper, as a capsule, something like that. You can also get it as a cream. This is one of my favorite creams of CBD. It's a really thick cream and it relieves a lot of like muscle soreness and tension. And when you're under a lot of stress, your body is going to physically react to the stress just like this. So those muscles are going to get really tight, usually in the neck and shoulders. You can get headaches. So even using something like a CBD, you can rub some of that cream on your forehead, on your temples, on the base of your skull, on your neck and shoulders. Oh, and it's just very soothing and helps that tissue relax, can help improve blood flow, things like that. Again, to help that tissue relax. When your physical body can relax, and these are things to help the physical body relax, it helps take down that stress, right? Because it's hard to just try and like mentally take down the stress. Okay, I got to de-stress. I got to de-stress. Your body's still going to react. So these are things to help, right? Help your physical body, help your meat suit, the meat suit that you live in, take down the stress. Another couple of things, and so these are some fun tools that I have that I keep around. Dry brushing. This is for lymphatic flow. So you will, and then like using a massage gun. These things are really, really helpful. This, you can massage, shoulders again, neck, things that you talked about again. Make sure you're being safe. Don't do this on your spine. That's not a good idea. And make sure you're using a lot enough pressure on that muscle tissue. So again, you're not creating any extra tension there, but this is really helpful for muscle relaxation, blood flow, things like that. Dry brush. This is a dry brush that's fantastic for increasing lymphatic flow to help flush things out of your system. Again, it's very refreshing, very good for the skin. And then other things too, again, if you're under a lot of stress, you're going to retain more fluid, hence why I talked about drinking minerals and water. So even your face can feel puffy. So these are a couple of tools. Now these are rose quartz. You can also have jade tools. This is a gua sha tool. If you're not trained in gua sha for the body, make sure you're using really light pressure. Don't shove this in your eyeball, right? And be gentle around bony structures. But you can gently kind of flush, you know, gently flush, your skin. This is just a jade roller. It's rose quartz. I just said that, but this is a face roller where again you can just roll. It's kind of nice. It's kind of soothing. I actually use this, and this side on this one I got again Amazon. This was like $20 for this little kit. It was very cute. This one has like lumps on it. I actually use this if I get a headache and because I'm staring at a screen or like going through a lot of Dutch tests or something like that. I'm like going through a lot of hormone tests and I'm like just staring at a screen for a really long time. So I'll use this little bumpy edge and I'm like, oh yeah, just roll that out a little bit right on my skull here. It just feels good, right? Just relieving some of that tension. You're actually going to get tension in your muscles, but also in your head. You have little flat muscles on your skull right here. You don't feel it, but if you were to put your fingers here and open and close your mouth, you can feel those muscles move and there's a lot of tension here. So sometimes it hurts and it can actually trigger a headache if you push too hard. So that's why using a tool like this and just kind of gently rubbing, that's nice, right? Release that tension, get that blood flow there, get that lymph flow going on the face. Your lymphatic vessels are here along the side of your face and then down into your neck. So again, if you're going to, use a tool like this on your neck, be very gentle, very, very gentle pressure. You don't need a lot of pressure for this at all. Same thing for this. You're not like digging in anywhere. Light pressure. Just light, just the weight of the tool is enough. Mm. I'm not selling these or anything, in case you're wondering. I'm not. They're fun to have around. And one of the other benefits of using tools like this, having a dry brush, having CBD. So, I mean, I have these things in my workstation down here, in my house. This is like my workstation. I have these things all over the place and I use them all the time. And the reason I have them around me all the time, so these aren't just props for show. This is my stuff. I actually use this. Um, like this is my cream. I actually use this cream. Um, it gives you something to do as well. It gives your brain something to do. And I leave these things out so that I see them. Because again, when your brain is really stressed, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I know to use this. Yeah, I know that. But when your brain is stressed out, when you have a lot going on, your brain isn't going to say, I'm stressed. I need to do these things to take down the stress. No, your brain just keeps going and spiraling and spiraling. So if I see one of these things sitting there, I'm like, oh my gosh, duh, I should do this. It gives you something to do, something to work on your body with. And just that action alone of having something to do also helps to take down the stress because you're being proactive about something, right? You're not just sitting there worrying, trying to figure out how to decrease stress. How do I get my brain to stop thinking about this thing that's making me really stressed? I don't know. But here's something you can use that's just going to give you a project while you work on it, right? Again, very gentle, right? Very gentle pressure. That's all you're looking for. And you don't want to like jab it in your cheekbone. Don't jab it in your eye, right? Just nice, just gentle, right? So there's that. So really, really helpful things to help blood flow, to help muscle tissue relax, everything else there. And then the last thing on here, and these are things I actually talk about in the 12-week challenge for women that work with me and that we do coaching together. So I'm going to put a link here for those of you that are not on the wait list for the next 12-week challenge. If I can do it, if I can figure it out, if I can get the button to work. There we go. When we work together, you get a Dutch test. So we look at your hormones, we look at your cortisol levels. We can see any nutrient deficiencies, any places where you really need to focus, right? And then I give you a customized protocol to follow. And we talk about some of these things to incorporate on a regular basis that are going to help keep your stress levels low. One of the things, and this might sound weird, but laughter, like watch one of my favorite things is funny cat videos. I don't know what it is about watching animals do silly things, just 5 minutes, and I will be like crying laughing. Yeah. But what it does is it helps sort of break up your body physiology, right? When you're laughing, you can't be stressed at that moment, right? So it's essentially find a way to distract yourself. And it's not, think of it like this. If you are, if you have a kid who's really upset and crying and things like that, you can try and talk to them. And if that works, great. But if it doesn't, sometimes one of the best ways to get kids out of a funk and out of like a crying mode is to distract them with something like, oh my gosh, look at this funny book. Oh, let's look at this. Or tell a joke, or do something weird. Like my husband always we used to have a cat named Mickey, and he would tell Mickey jokes. Mickey driving the school bus, Mickey doing this or that. And for some reason, my kids thought it was hilarious. Totally would break them out of whatever, crying mode that they were in, upset mode that they were in. Your brain functions very similarly to that in terms of being really, really stressed. It's hard to just snap out of it. So essentially, you're providing something else, a different input and a different thing to focus on for your brain to shift focus. And that helps break up that constant pressure of stress. Now, that's not to say the stress just, exists, or goes away, right? The stress is still going to be there. But again, you're changing your own physiology so that when you kind of, okay, yep, okay, I have to go back to work, or, so these are things that I do throughout the day. I will have calls, I will, go through podcasts, things like that. And then all of a sudden I have to, and then I get, oh my gosh, this happened, or oh my gosh, there's another curfew tonight. Oh my gosh, okay. You just get worried. You get worried. you have these things pop up. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Guess I need to do some dry brushing right now. Okay, guess I need to do some other things to help my physical body right now because I have more calls later. I got to keep myself going and focused and everything. Give myself the time to go through this. Give myself that break and distraction so it's not this constant high level of stress all the time. I can take it down. I can let my body go through a little recovery, and then I can get back to things and talking with people who, oftentimes share the same concerns or have the same, things going on in their life, or, we all live in the world right now. So tools are helpful. Break the patterns, get things moving, and then get back to it. So, yeah. Um, Okay, so other resources I have for you, again, that link for the 12-week is in the comments. If you guys have more questions, let me know. But other resources I have for you, if you need more info on something, things that I talk about, I do have more videos on my YouTube channel, which is called Dr. Beth Westy. My podcast is called The Female Health Solution. So I've got a lot of great episodes coming out there. And then my books are The Female Fat Solution and The Female Menopause Solution. These are on Amazon, talking about nutrition that matches your hormones and your cycle. Super fun stuff there. Yeah, so that's what I got for you guys tonight. Let me know if you guys have questions. Let me know if you need help. Let me know if there's something you feel like you're stuck on or stuck with somewhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Otherwise, that's what I got for you guys tonight. Have a great night, and I will see you later.